Hello and welcome to I Am Love Builders MVP Huddle with Casper and Cheryl. We are excited to bring this training to you. We do this every couple of weeks for the month, and this training is a prelude to training that we do for the MVP Club. Yeah, so we do the club training at the top of the hour, but we want to bring you this training just to give you a taste, an understanding of what we're doing here. We have a lot of training that we provide for couples and even individuals, but this training here we do every 2 weeks, and it's to the top of the hour. But before we get into the training, I wanted to show you this, which I hadn't pulled up yet, but I'm pulling it up now. So our sponsors to the training are I Am Love Builders. We wrote a book called Divorce Proofing Your Marriage. It hit the hot new release list on Amazon. We have MVP Club Valuable Partner Club training calls we do, like we're going to do here at the top of the hour. We do free workshops for groups of 10 or more. If you have a organization or a company or a group where you can get 10 or more people together, we'll do a free workshop for you. We have a show that we are casting on. In fact, we're almost fully casted for this show that's going to air later this year. We're going to tape in August, but we're really excited about that show. We're going to talk more about that later. You can win a bronze membership to our MVP by downloading the Zandra TV app. And you can get it on any of these platforms, or Roku, Amazon, Apple. You can get it from a lot of areas. So download Zandra TV and you could win a bronze MVP membership. All right. So let's get into the training. So what are we training on?
So, a while back we did talk about things from chapter 23 in our book called The Love Builder's Toolbox. But we didn't get through the whole chapter. So there's some few things that we want to talk about today. Now, there's only going to be a few items that we're going to hit, just a few topics. We will go more in depth at the top of the hour for the MVP club members.
Okay.
But one of the things we wanted to talk about, the name of this was chapter 23, and it's the Love Builder's Toolbox. And we wanted to talk about, sometimes couples get confused on their roles.
Right.
And understand the roles are not permanent to each person. Your role in your marriage is going to change depending on your marriage.
Okay.
Because some marriages, the wife goes out, maybe she has the corporate job, and maybe the husband stays at home and he takes care of the children. Maybe he's doing the homeschooling.
Right.
And then sometimes it's even reversed from that. Maybe they both have corporate jobs, but he enjoys cooking.
Right.
So he does all the grocery shopping. Matter of fact, I was in the grocery store, I was in Sam's the other day, and there was a man who you could tell clearly was the shopper for his family. He had his list, and I think he had a couple of kids following behind him, and he was doing the family shopping.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who are like us, and we bounce between the two. Depends on
what's going
on, what the need is, and who can jump in and fill that need at that time.
Right.
So don't get let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't be like it's not written in stone.
So rigid on the roles.
Right, that's the word, rigid. Yeah. So recognize your relationships, and so that's going to start early on in your marriage. As a matter of fact, what I strongly suggest is that you talk about that before you get married.
What a concept. Yeah. Actually talk about these things to make sure that you're on the same page.
Yes. We spent hours talking about things.
We did.
We came up with various different scenarios. I mean, because we had parents, your parents, had my parents as examples. We had our friends who had good, bad, awful, traumatic marriages, relationships. So we looked at all of that, and we kind of threw out various scenarios to see what we thought, how we were going to handle it.
Right. And keep in mind, this is a fluid situation. So things change, right? Jobs change, careers change, businesses change. So it's something that you need to look at and adjust from time to time. But, like you said, don't be so rigid in your role that, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
That's man's job. That's the wife's job.
Right.
No, be fluid. See what works for you and your family. And,
and
if you're not married yet, talk about it. Please.
Right.
Please don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
Another thing is, topic was reflect on your actions. Now, I was single for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember there was a question you asked me. You said, you asked me, how do I handle a certain thing? And for the most part, I couldn't answer that because I lived by myself.
You never had to experience it.
Right. I never had to experience another person's thoughts, opinions, or actions because it was just me.
Right.
So that's something that's worth thinking about. You need to reflect on your own actions. Sometimes we're so focused on, well, how is he going to handle this and how is she going to handle this? Well, how are you going to handle it? You know?
Yeah.
Think about, how do you handle anger? A thought. What do you do?
Get angry.
Yeah.
Get angry.
Well,
start throwing stuff.
Well, yeah. See, that's the behavior you don't want.
Right.
Throwing things and using foul language and cursing each other out and digging up old things from. Do you play dirty when you fight? When you fight dirty, or you when a conflict comes up, do you sit down and meditate on it?
Yeah. And people try to blame other people for their actions, but your actions are your actions. You control them 100%. There's no one else that controls your actions.
That is
so
correct.
You can't control what comes at you. You can't control the environment, the people that come around you, but you can control how you respond to them.
That is correct.
Right.
Yes.
And on social media, it's so funny because I do a lot of social media for marketing purpose and everything else. And I had this guy, I think it was a guy, just attacked me. He called me stupid or something. And my response to him, I think it wasn't him. My response to him was, well, God loves you. I love you. So, you're not this and I'm not that. I just turned it into something totally different than what the direction they were going.
Yeah, you don't need to argue.
Right.
On every point.
Right.
It's what is the thing that you always say about the thermostat and the barometer?
Thermometer.
The thermometer, yes.
Yeah. We should be thermostats to where we are controlling the temperature.
Yes.
Not a thermometer. Do we just register? Oh, it's hot. Okay, I'm hot too.
Yes.
All right, let's go at it.
Yes.
No, we need to control the temperature. And you can walk into a room or walk into a situation or a social media post, and you can control the temperature of that conversation by what you or how you respond to things people are saying to you.
Yeah, you don't always have to stoop to their level.
Right.
You don't ever have to stoop to their level.
Right.
So if they're in a heated situation, how do you handle it?
Yeah. And especially when there's no danger involved, right? I mean,
right.
If it's a danger situation to where you're, potentially fighting for your life, that's totally different. That's
right.
not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about situations to where you literally can just walk away from it, not type it or something you can do to control that, control your response to that.
And like they say in marriages, you choose your battles.
Yes.
There's some things you may need to, you may need to hammer in on that, but there are other things where you're like, okay, it's not worth getting into all that. We'll just let that one go by.
Yeah.
You don't have to be mean and rude and ugly all the time. So meditate on what your behavior is.
Yes.
Meditate, reflect on your actions. How do you handle conflict and tough situations?
That's good.
The next one is make a commitment to change.
I don't want to change.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people like that.
64 years doing it this way. This is the way.
Yes. Okay. No, there's always a different way. You don't always have to, as we said before, the word is rigid. Don't be so rigid in life, how you handle life.
Yeah.
Be fluid, as Casper said earlier. Be willing to change.
Yeah.
Be willing to grow.
I think the comment about change is, oh man, I just lost it. But basically saying that the only thing constant is change. It's going to change.
Right.
Things are going to be different, right? There's going to be new career things thrown at you or whatever it is. So you have to be fluid enough to go with it and turn it into something really good for yourself.
And change is not bad. Look at change as growth. I'm going to read this book about how to listen better
Right.
because I want to grow. I want to perfect myself in that area.
Right.
So that's why I'm willing to make the change. I'm
Mhm.
changing me so that I can be perfected in certain areas. And in relationships, marriages, you're always going to be changing. And you started out, maybe it's just the two of you, and then you have children, and then there's jobs and careers, and the children have their own little lifestyles. You know, they got ballet and basketball, and you got all this a big ball of life that you have to contend with. And the best way to contend with is being fluid. You got to be willing to make the changes. But I think when I think of changing me, I substitute the word for change to growth.
Growth. Yeah. You want to grow.
Yes. I am making a commitment. I am making a course correction in my life, in my attitude, in my behavior, so that I can grow. I can be, I can develop, I can evolve. I can go to the next level and not stay the same.
Right.
And that used to be not that I was always real big on New Year's resolutions, but that was one thing I always used to say, God, I don't want to be the same person next year that I am this year.
Right.
I want to see some progress. I want to see some growth.
Yes.
I want to see me become more than I am now.
Absolutely. And that's what our MVP program is all about, right? Becoming the most valuable partner in your relationship. Or even if you're not in a relationship, becoming the most valuable partner for a potential relationship down the road. Right? So you're always improving yourself, and then you get together with someone who is also improving themselves. Now, I mean, you have a phenomenal potential relationship going on, right? Absolutely.
So those are the basically, I think we're almost out of time, but those were the three things that we're just going to hit. Now in the MVP club at the top of the hour, we're going to have a few more extra ones. So we're going to go a little deeper because we have more time. But here's what the takeaway. In the Love Builders Toolbox, which in our book is chapter 23, recognize your role in your relationship. Be fluid. Relationships have different roles. They change. They start out one way, evolve to something else. Reflect on your actions, not always on the other person, but you. How do you handle things? And number 3, make a commitment to change. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to grow, to evolve, to go to the next level.
All right. So if you're MVP members, we will see you at the top of the hour on our exclusive Most Valuable Partner call. But in the meantime, if you're not, we will see you in 2 weeks for some more training. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.